It's just anything. So if the mood moves you, just lie, or ba bye, or whatever it is that you think
Mhm.
you would
Oh, they
like to
didn't put
do,
you to bed yet? Is that it?
and,
Oh, I see.
and then we'll go from there. Once again, Shabbat Shalom. The week is over and we feel good. Some this week was challenging for some of us, and for some of us, it was a week of great joys and anything in between. And Shabbat is that time where we come together, and no matter what, no matter our mood, and no matter how tough it's been, we celebrate. And if we have reason to celebrate, even better, we celebrate even more. And so we come together now and we join in Yadid Nefesh. Yedid nefesh, avarachama, משוחטך אל רצונך, ירוץ עבדך כמו היה. ישתחווה אל מול הדרך, ירב לו ידידותך מנופת צוף וכל טעם. לכו נרננה. לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו, נקד בפניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. יאללה 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 And if you'd like to unmute, we can do the next, let's do the next responsive reading. And Melanie, would you like to lead us in that?
Okay. Arise, my darling, my fair one, come away.
For now, the
For now, the winter is
rains are
past,
over
rains are over and gone.
The blossoms have appeared in the land. The time of pruning has come.
the song of the
Song of the little dove is heard
in our land.
the green. Oh,
The green figs form on the fig tree. The vines in blossom give off fragrance.
arise, my
My
darling,
darling, my
my
fair one, come away.
And we set the scene for the Chadodi. Imagine that the Kabbalists in Tzfat, a very Kabbalistic city where it all started, the Kabbalah. Kabbalah just means to receive, so we're receiving our mystical side. They were dressed all in white because they would run into the field and just around sunset to greet Shabbat, the Shekhinah. And then the song Lecha Dodi, the poem actually, was created. And the Chadodi, as with many, many different prayers, has a lot of different tunes and variations. Sometimes we can take familiar tunes and put it to it, much like the Adon Olam. The Adon Olam's a little better about that. We can do a little more. But Lechadodi also is written in such a way that we really can add any kind of rhythm that we'd like. So join in.
Shabbat Kabbalat Lechadodi Likrat Kala Shabbat Kabbalat Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך אדוני לקראת קהלה פני שבת קבלה לך אדוני לקראת קהלה פני שבת קבלה לקראת שבת לכוון אל חכים מכל הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. Here we go. לך אדוני לקראת קהלה פני שבת קבלה הדדי די לך דודי הדדי די לקראת קהלה הדדי די פני שבת פני שבת מקבלה הדדי די לך דודי הדדי די לקראת קהלה די פני שבת פני שבת מקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה הדדי די לך דודי הדדי די לקראת קהלה הדדי די פני שבת פני שבת מקבלה לשלום, עטרת עלה, גם לשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. הדדי לך דודי, הדדי לקראת קלה, הדדי פן בשבת, פן בשבת נקבלה. Everyone out. הדדי לך דודי, הדדי לקראת קלה, הדדי פן בשבת, פן בשבת נקבלה. Pnei Shabbat Nekabela. Let's welcome the face of Shabbat. And think about that. We don't just, it's not some abstract thing that we're welcoming in. We welcome the face of Shabbat, that face of peace, that face of joy, that face of magic, if you will. When we see this beautiful sunset, that kind of reminds us of what Shabbat is. And so if you'd like to unmute, we can do that now. May the moments of the vision of Shabbat give a time of deeper attachment to the godlike in us and in our world, for which we shall give thanks and praise. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach,
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים. Let's meditate on the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום לבבך ושיננת
פניך
ודיברת
בשבתך ובצאתך
ובלכתך
בדרך
ובשוכבך ובך וקשרתם
להיות על ידיך
והיו
לטוטפות בין עיניך
וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך And as we get ready to sing Mi Kamocha, who is like you, Eternal One, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, doing wonders. And we throw around the word holiness a lot. We hear it a lot. Holy, holy, holiness. What does that mean? Um, and some of us might have, and at some point, let's have a discussion. We might have this idea of what holiness means, and a lot of it is how we grew up, or maybe what we heard, or maybe just some perception we have based on people we see. Holiness can be a state of mind. It's a place that we go to when we want to feel connected to each other, when we want to feel connected to the world around us, to a divine being, when we want to feel kindness and goodness. And when we get into that state of being, the state of being us, the state of being the ones we are, who we are, that's holiness. So join us. Who is like you? Mi kamocha ba'elim, nora b'kodesh. And so as we get into Shabbat more, we remember the covenant, V'shamru v'nei Israel et Shabbat. The people of Israel kept the Shabbat to make it holy, to make it a space of love, of kindness, a space of being together. So let's join. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים נשא אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ויום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ברית עולם. So it's that time, a little Torah. And this week's Torah portion is called Ki Tetzeh. And Ki Tetzeh, it's a Torah portion. Right now we're like in the home stretch. We're getting close to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. We're getting close to Simchat Torah, where we stop, we end reading the Torah, we get to the end, and then we start again. And we're right there. We're right at the end. And so now we're just about, the people of Israel are about to get into the land. And a bunch of these chapters are lessons on how to be people and how to live in your land. And in this particular chapter, we learn all kinds of different things about war, about peace, how to treat people. What really fascinates me in this portion, in Parashat Kitetse, Kitetse mean and you when you go out, because the parsha itself starts, when you go into war, this is how you should behave. I don't want to get into that today. I really love one part in particular, and that's in Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 9. We read, "You shall not plow with an ox and a donkey together." Okay, so the people are about to get into the land. They're going to, most likely, a lot of them are going to be farmers, and they're learning the rules. But the question is, what? Well, you can't plow the land with an ox and a donkey. If you know anything about those days, um, you used to plow. We didn't have all the machines and everything. You just kind of plowed by hanging out these. I guess they had machines, but they were manual, and so they would use a donkey, they'd use an ox, and they would pull, this kind of I don't know what you would call it, a cart maybe, and it would just plow the fields. And so the rule here says, you shall not plow with an ox and a donkey together. I mean, why does the Torah care about why does the Torah care if we plow the field with a donkey and a ox? Forgot the word there. Because I mean, what if they get along? What if the farmer just feels that that's better? Maybe the technique was better. So there's a question. And our sages, there's one explanation as our sages give us. Um, One of the explanations is that, for example, the ox is stronger than the donkey. And so what happens if the ox kind of moves on a little too fast, and the donkey gets stuck somewhere, maybe on a rock or something, so then the donkey gets dragged, and it's really painful, and so it could hamper the donkey. And so from that we derive, a phrase that's called tsa'ar ba'alei cha'im, taking care of animals, making sure that we're taking care of animals. And then there's another explanation, something that is a little deeper, something that the Torah, it's probably when you read between the lines. And it derives from Ba'alei Tosafot, and these were mostly Rashi's great-grandsons, and also from Habet Yosef. Habet Yosef was Rabbi Yosef Karo, and he wrote the Shulchan Aruch, which is the great codification of Jewish law, basically. But to tell you about it, I kind of want to give you a story about, to tell you a little bit about, you know me, I need to give you a little bit of a story. It's a little more fun for me. And so I'll explain how they did it. So there was a young rabbi, and he was traveling the country, and he would stop in different towns, different villages, and as one would do, he would stop, he would go to the synagogue and pray, he would go and eat some food, maybe he'd go to someone's home and stay with them, or stay in a hotel, motel, wherever, but that was his thing. He was travel, teaching and lecturing, all kinds of things. And so he gets into one particular village, town, small town maybe it was, and he notices it's very strange. The town seems a little bit empty. And he walks over to the shul, to the synagogue, and he looks and he sees that that's pretty much, it seems empty. The only thing he sees are 7 homeless people sitting right outside the door, and they're waiting. They're so excited someone's walking by, and they have their hand out, please, we're starving, we need some food. And the rabbi thinks it's very strange. What's going on in this town? I mean, there's no one around. I mean, when we say no one, nothing. No one in the shops. The shops are closed. The synagogue seems closed. I mean, it's like a Thursday or something, evening. What's going on? It's not Shabbat. So he goes up to these homeless people and he says, "Hi, I don't understand what's going on here. Why is this town empty? Are you the only people who live here? It can't be. I mean, I see it looks like a town. What's going on?" And they say, "Well, Rabbi, you see, there's a big wedding. One of the richest people in the village, their son and daughter are getting married, and everyone was invited. Everyone in town was invited to that wedding, and it's a huge, huge wedding, but we weren't invited. And you know what? We're a little hurt. We're a little disappointed. We're very hungry too, but we weren't even everybody in town. It's a small town. We all know each other. No one invited us. We're very upset. And the rabbi said, that sounds strange. He said, "Do you know where the wedding is?" And of course, they know where the wedding is. He said, "Take me there. I'm getting you into the wedding. We're going to have a wedding and we're going to eat and we're going to be happy." And so they all walk into, to this big villa. It was a huge mansion even. And, gated with walls and guards, that kind of a thing. And you have two gates to get in, three. And the Rebbe, presses the button to talk to one of the guards, and he says, "Hi, we're here for the wedding. Sorry, we're a little late, but we came to enjoy." The guard kind of can see him from a window and says, "No, sorry, everyone that was on the list is here. We made sure, and no one else is allowed in. This is a very exclusive part. It's the whole town, but no one else for security. We don't allow anybody else in." And the rabbi said, "Well, excuse me, sir, but were they married by a rabbi?" And of course, they were married by a rabbi. He says, I have a really important question for that rabbi. Could you please go and tell the rabbi that, he gave his name, and can I please come in and ask him an urgent question? I mean, it's very urgent that I come in." And so the guard goes away, comes back, and he says, "Yeah, yeah, come in." And the young rabbi says, "Yeah, my friends are coming, following me as well." "Okay," says the guard, "who am I?" They walk in, and the rabbi is sitting. The older rabbi who's officiating the wedding, the officiant, is sitting, of course, as it is, sitting at the honor table with the bride and groom and their family. And it's a big, beautiful, lavish room with lots of tables. The food looks amazing. And the young rabbi approaches the older rabbi and says, "Rebbe, so good to see you. I have a question for you." And the Rebbe says, "Okay, what's your question?" "Sure, what to ask? It's that urgent, ask me." And so the young rabbi says, "Rebbe, the question is, this week's portion, Parsha, is Ki Tetzeh. And there's one line in Ki Tetzeh that says basically that you shall not plow with an ox and a donkey together. So, Rebbe, why? I don't understand. Why is this? Why are we to I don't get it. I don't get this. It's bothering me. I can't sleep at night. You have to tell me." And the rabbi says, "Well, it's a wedding right now. I don't have my books with me. I'm kind of forgetting a little bit. There's something to do with, taking care of animals and the ox, is strong, maybe, yeah." And the young rabbi says, "Well, can I offer something that I'm playing with that I heard that I want to ask you about, and tell me what you think?" And the older rabbi says, "Sure, yeah, go ahead. Listen, us rabbis, we love to teach. So, and this is a teachable moment. Yeah, please talk about the Torah portion." So the young Rebbe proceeds to say, "Well, there's this explanation by the Tosafot, and that says that as follows. So when the bull eats, he chooses cud. What does that mean? That means that when the donkey and the bull are together, in the morning, they get fed twice a day, once in the morning before they go to plow, and then at night when they come back. And in the morning, they get a big, huge meal, nice meal, so they're strong. And the donkey eats it all up, and the bull eats it up, and is satisfied. And then round about noon or so, the farmer takes a break, and so the donkey and the ox take a break as well. And there's no food, there's water, there's whatever they need, they rest. But the bull has this natural thing where he can regurgitate his food up, and it's to its full capacity, chew it, and swallow. And that's a whole other meal. So effectively, the bull has lunch as well. He has breakfast, snack, lunch, dinner. Well, the donkey, being a donkey, doesn't understand that. He thinks in the donkey's eyes, he thinks that's not fair. How come the farmer gives the bull a another meal? Am I not as important? Do I not work in the field as hard in the field? Do I not sweat as much as the donkey? The ox. We work together. I don't understand. I'm very offended by this. And so, Rebbe, the Torah tells us that we shouldn't have favoritism. We shouldn't really, because now the bull, that's his natural thing. So it's not like it's the bull's fault. He didn't create this problem. But the thing is, he can't help it. And the donkey can't help that he's a little bit, he's not as smart as other animals, maybe. He's a hard worker, but he's not so smart. So he can't help that from his perspective, and you can't explain it to him, really. He's not going to understand. And so the rule is, the Torah tells us, listen, everybody should be equal. Everybody should get a chance in life. Everybody has different abilities and different things, but we should really aim to make sure that the donkey feels good and feels valued as one of the animals who are working on the field as hard as well. And so the Torah tells us, don't mix them together so that there's not that problem. The donkey doesn't have to worry about it. And Rebbe, this translates beyond just the donkey and the ox. It translates into people. It translates into these people here, the homeless people that were sitting by the shul begging for money. The whole town knows each other. The whole town is here. Why are they left alone by the shul to maybe later get the scraps? They should have also been invited. The older rabbi just says, Yesher koach. Oh, you are unbelievable. That's exactly, you're right. You are so right. What have we done? And so he goes to the balabait, the person who owns the villa, and says, let's arrange for these homeless to sit with us, to be able to sit at the table with us. And that's what they do. And they get to be invited, welcomed guests. And so you see, we learn that our world isn't always fair. And our world isn't, everybody has their own place and their own space. But we all are responsible for each other. And we all need to make sure that everybody feels okay and everybody feels welcomed. And there are different ways to do it. It's not going to be a one fits all. And sometimes we have to remove the ox so that the donkey doesn't feel left out. Shabbat Shalom. And so let's get back to our service now. And if we'd like to unmute, we may do that now. And I'm going to say a little Misha Berach. And if we want to say names of people, this is the time.
For my sister Caroline.
And we all wish Caroline the best. I know a couple of people asked me how did they get in touch with Caroline. You can always send me an email, and then I will gladly forward anything to Caroline.
It would be wonderful. I would love that.
So if anybody wants to send a note or anything, then that's the way to do it. Anybody else? Let's name some other.
Caroline. Thank you.
Caroline.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Come here, Mizrahi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love you, Caroline.
Thank you so much. Can I just say the love that comes from this kahila, it is just amazing. And I just want you to know that I am in contact, even though on the other side of the water. I write to Shai and Jeffrey regularly. And as soon as anything changes, if I have an appointment, I had one today, I've written a long email to Shai and Jeffrey, they may not have read it yet, to tell them exactly where I am and what's happening, so they do know.
please let us know. We're all waiting for for you to be good and feel the best.
I
Love
have a long
you.
way to go. I've got a lot of appointments to go to, and then I've got surgery to go through. But I don't think I'll lose my hair because it'll be endoscopic, and I'll feel pretty lousy after that. So I might miss a few weeks. But thank you for everything, and thank you all for being such a wonderful Kahila, and I mean that.
And you know that we're with you in spirit. This is what is so special about this, that even though physically we can't be there, we're there in spirit and we're going to
Group
walk
hug.
in there with you, and every step of the way we'll hold
I'm
you,
hugging you all.
and we're hugging you as well. And
We
so
love you very much.
let's now join in Mishabeva. Mishabeva. Our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Mishaberach, our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. May the one bless those who are saved with complete good health, the renewal of spirit, the renewal of body. Let us say Amen. Visheberach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Visheberach Imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah ורחל, ויברך את כל החולים עם רפואה שלמה, רפואת הנפש, רפואת הגוף, ונאמר אמן. And let us say Amen. And please unmute if you'd like to join us with In the Amidah. And my talit is running away today. Adonai Sifata Tifkach Ufi Agiteatecha. Eternal God, open our lips, that our mouths may
declare your
your glory. Baruch atah Adonai
Adonai,
Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Avraham,
Abraham,
Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah,
Sarah,
Elohei
Elohei,
Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora,
Torah,
El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן
Again,
אברהם
Abraham, Bezrat Sarah.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, רב להושיע מוריד אתה. ונאמן אתה לחיות כל חי, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה כל חי. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Oseh shalom b'mromav. We ask you, ruler up above, ruler all around us, to give us peace, to make peace all over the world, and especially within ourselves. Let's join. שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו על כל יושבי תבל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו על כל יושבי תבל. ואמרו amen. Amen ve'amen. We say it twice, because why not? And so let's get our kiddush cups. Kiddushim. Kos kiddush. Ooh, if I can get it here. And join us. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבעם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי אלינו קראת ואותנו קידשת לעבודתך, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש Hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Life. And that sweetness.
God,
So let's join in
Even though I've been in the refrigerator over 2 hours.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת תודה יוצאת בראשית, שנתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים מודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. In the rising of the sun and in its going down,
We remember them.
in the blowing of the wind and the chill of winter,
We
We
remember them.
remember them.
in the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring,
We
We
remember
remember
them.
them.
in the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of winter,
We remember them.
in the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn,
We remember
We
them.
remember them.
in the beginning of the year and when it ends.
We remember
We
them.
remember them.
So long as we live, they too shall live, as they are now part of us, as we
As
remember.
we remember them.
And if you'd like to say a name or keep it in your heart, now is the time.
I just want to say that today, Shai, today, my daughter called me and she says that her husband's brother, it was killed in an airplane accident. I don't know his name. I just know that the family name is Giat. So for him.
And anyone else?
Alan Tellisman, Isabella Louie, Floyd Manilow.
And so we say a Kaddish. And the Kaddish really is for us. It comforts us to let us know that they are there with us. And here we go. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קרי ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריך הוא. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. And let's join in Lechilach. And as we go through the journey of Ki Titzeh, and we remember that sometimes we need to just stop and look around us and not assume that someone is this or that, but really maybe get to know them. And make sure that we are always striving to make people feel welcome and comfortable and happy. to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechila, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing. Lech lecha, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechilach, to a place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lechilah. You shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing. And you shall be a blessing. May we all be a blessing. May the whole world be a blessing and receive blessings. And before we do the challah, and today's going to be very special because we're going to have two challah blessings. We're going to have Paul and Isaac are going to do the challah blessing, and of course we have to have, if she feels up to it, Caroline do the wonderful bracha.
Absolutely.
But before that, I thought I would do a little bit of the announcements now, so that we can do that, and then we can do the hamotzi and say Shabbat Shalom. So, as you know, you've all hopefully received in the mail a nice Evite, and that's how we're going to receive them for the high holidays, where you can RSVP. We don't do tickets because we just don't, and so, but we do need a little bit of an RSVP because hopefully we're expecting more people than usual, and Zoom, has these rules about how many people, and so you have to kind of let them know. So if you've received that, just kind of give us an idea if you're coming or not. Hopefully you are. We hope everybody here is coming. The first thing we're going to have is slichot in 2 weeks. Can you believe it? It's coming up. So we're going to have slichot on September 12th. We'll have the Friday night service. It's going to be a long weekend that weekend, but you know what? That's those are the high holidays. So we're going to have Friday night services, and then Shabbat. After Shabbat, we're going to have a nice Havdalah service, followed by a short Slichot service, and we'll talk about what all that means. And then following that, 2 weeks, I believe, 2 weeks after that, a week after that, we have Rosh Hashanah. And so Rosh Hashanah this year is on Friday as well, and which is nice. It's Shabbat. So we won't be doing a shofar blowing this year, sad, but we will do Aleinu, and we'll have again Friday night services. Saturday morning will most likely be around 8:30 Pacific, which is I think 11:30 maybe Eastern, something like that. And then Rosh Hashanah will be that. And Yom Kippur, I know it seems like far away, but it's another 10 days after that. We're also going to have services eve and day. Yom Kippur will actually have morning and evening services, so we can end with a nice Havdalah and a celebratory, make sure, we'll talk about it a little more. Have Mash if you're fasting, and we could do that together. So, make sure when you receive those evites, they're different than the normal emails. If you can, if it's possible to just RSVP, not just for the fun, just so we have an idea also of who's coming. Feel free. I think Evite allows you to invite about 5 people extra, so you can also invite people. You can forward this to people. There's an option, so you may do that as well, and they should also RSVP, or you can for them. I think that's it. And so let's have Paul and Isaac do the emoji for us, and then of course Caroline, we have to have you do the emoji as well.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in joyfully as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Beautiful. And I
I've
have a
not heard that one for ages, and it's so lovely to hear it again. It's a really
Caroline, I
nice
love
song.
your blue guitar. I just noticed. Nice.
Oh, well, there's a story about that, and it's a very quick one. I have a blue and white guitar because I teach children, and so I tell them my blue and white guitar is the colour of the Israel flag. That's why I have a
Oh,
blue and white guitar. It's a teaching thing as well. So, if we've got any children around, I don't know if the children are here
yes,
today.
we do.
And if we haven't got children, big adults can do it too.
We're
You
all
make your
children.
holler. You'll get your hands like that. You make them all knobbly, so you've got your holler. Here's a tasty loaf of holler, loaf of holler, loaf of holler. Here's a tasty loaf of holler. And now we make the bracha.
Baruch atah Adonai
Adonai Eloheinu
Eloheinu
melech
melech
haolam
haolam
hamotzei lechem min
min
haaretz.
haaretz.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom,
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Shabbat,
shalom.
Shalom. Hey,
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom,
shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat,
shalom,
Shalom.
Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shalom.
Shabbat,
Shabbat, Shabbat,
shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom,
Hey,
Shabbat, 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 shalom. Wasn't the same without
Shabbat
it last
shalom,
week.
everyone. What a joy.
Shabbat
What a
shalom.
pleasure. We hope to see you again this time, same place, same time next week, and then the week after for Slichot. Bye, everyone. Shalom.
Bye. Shabbat
Bye.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.